Train 262 Heavy, wind calm, runway 31 left, clear for takeoff, caution wake turbulence, previous departure, Heavy 777.
Welcome to Hanoi, Vietnam. It only makes sense because this helicopter symbolizes Vietnam and helicopters to entire generations of Americans and many people outside of America who think of Vietnam and they see U.S. soldiers jumping out of a UH-1 Huey helicopter into the jungle. So we're going to fly a UH-1 Iroquois, which is its true name, also known as a Huey. It is powered by one Lycoming T53L11 engine producing 1,100 horsepower. Oh, I love that Huey thump. Alright, let's get inside. Zoom out. Gauges look pretty good. Look, I have dials on everything, which is nice. Alright, let's go. Here we go up into the air. Oh, up in the air. Silly helicopter. Top speed 135 miles per hour. Capacity was 14 troops, or 6 litters, or 3,880 pounds of cargo. She could sling load, but not a heck of a lot. They often made gunships out of these. They could carry 2 7.62mm machine guns and or 2 sets of 70mm rocket pods. I can't speak because I'm hearing the thump of this Huey helicopter. It makes me want to look out the window. It is a defining noise. When you hear that noise, that thump, you think Huey helicopters. And there's really it's all down to the geometry of the two-bladed rotor. The noise is most evident in turning maneuvers and in descent, due to the way the airflow comes around these four-bladed rotors. Now, if you've ever heard an Apache gunship fly over, and I have heard an Apache gunship fly overhead, there is no thump. If you hear a Black Hawk fly over, there's no thump. And the reason is they've actually changed. If you ever look at the rotors of an AH-64 when she's shut down, you'll notice they actually have a little change to the tip of the rotor. Well, that little change is actually part of the acoustic. Be quiet. I'm not going to sing.
Don't sing.
Be quiet.
Don't sing.
The acoustic signature system. I'm not sinking. I'm flying a helicopter. I can do whatever I want. Leave me alone. Now, why is the Huey called the Huey?
Don't sing.
Well,
don't sing.
Be quiet. I'm not sinking.
Don't
what
sing.
are you talking about? Go away.
Don't sing.
Flying a helicopter. Originally, the designation was not UH-1. Originally, the designation was HU-1. Huey.
Don't sing.
So that's where the
Don't
Huey
sing.
comes from.
Don't sing. Don't sing.
Would you be quiet,
Don't
little
sing.
talking man? I can sink if
Don't
I want.
sing.
I'm flying a helicopter that can hover.
Don't sing.
How do I shut him up? Other than climbing, which is the logical way to shut him up. Anyway. The Huey really led to the development of the air cavalry. Prior to the Huey, the concept was not there. You could get 14 troops in here, so those videos you would see of the fleet of Hueys dropping off their soldiers, that really was the precursor of the whole concept of rapid deployment of air cavalries. And it all came down to the Huey and the ability of the Huey. Now, the Huey flew into dangerous situations. Often in Vietnam, she was flying to hot LZs, hot landing zones, where she could expect to take fire. To that tune, 47% of the Hueys that flew in Vietnam were lost. Accidents, shot down, anything could happen out in the jungle. Let's open her up. Can we slide open our side panels? Yeah. Fling that open so that when you land, and Now, if you ever really watch the videos in Vietnam, they never really set the chopper completely down often. Often they'd come in skimming and just kind of stop just long enough for everybody to get out, and then they'd take off again. And of course, they would also go back into the firefight to pick up the wounded soldier and medevac them out in an attempt to save their life. A very important helicopter, a very iconic helicopter. It's probably more iconic than the Sioux from MASH. We have a different thought of the Sioux because the Sioux, we think of MASH, and MASH was funny. But the Iroquois, the Iroquois wasn't as funny because the Iroquois was Vietnam. And I know some people who flew these helicopters in Vietnam, and it affected them greatly. I've been to the wall in Washington, D.C., and looked at the names of all of the people who didn't make it out of Vietnam. It really affected a lot of people, but this helicopter is just an iconic piece of equipment. We're going to go ahead and try to land our Iroquois. I don't have flaps. Yes, put out your flaps. I don't have flaps. Oh, put out something. Can I put my arm out the window?
Flaps.
Too low, flaps. No, I'm not too low. I don't need flaps. I'm flying a helicopter. Go away.
Don't sink. Too low. Flaps.
We're going to do kind of a sliding landing, apparently, because I'm getting really hot. Look at that. Scooch. Stop. Alright, let's shut down our big whirly bird. And that sounds right. The sound of the turbine spooling down and the blade spinning around. I have ridden in one of these as well, as the Sioux, and I can attest to that wind down sound, the sound of those blades flipping around above your head. Let's see what our buttons do. Shift 1. Well, that gets you what you thought you'd get there. Shift 1. Okay, Shift 2, radio stack. 3, squishy GPS. 4, oh, there's our collective. And 5, oh, there's our engine. There's our alert panel. 6 gets us a compass, and that's the end of the story. Well, it's actually pretty nice. Sounds like somebody wants to take off. Am I blocking somebody? I'm probably blocking somebody, but do I care? No, I'm not. Okay, good. What are they going to do anyway? I'm a helicopter. I'm parked in the middle of the road. This is a really nice model. Now, the one that I have linked down below is not the definitive collection. Now, the one that's linked down below is sort of a limited collection. If you're looking for the definitive collection on Simviation, you should be able to find a collection that has an even greater plethora of the Iroquois. And if you really want to add this absolutely iconic helicopter to your hangar, it is a very nice helicopter. I do really like it. You know, is it a perfect interior cockpit? No, it's not. But we're not going to get a perfect interior cockpit in most freeware. You're going to find some, but it's free. It's an iconic helicopter, and if you want it, the link is down below. If you want the definitive collection, you can find it on the Simviation website. Really nice helicopter. I really enjoy it, and I landed it at a high rate of speed, which probably would be all kinds of wrong, but whatever. I landed it. I didn't crash it like I did the Chinook. I hope you enjoyed this week of Flight Simulator X. Regular schedules will resume next week with Farming Sim and Flight Simulator, I hope. So until next time, when we find something new to fly, it's been DerTebbers flying the iconic helicopter of Vietnam. Bye.